Snow fell thick and relentless, coating the world in a silence so heavy that even the trees seemed to hold their breath. The old cabin creaked under the weight of the storm, its windows glowing dimly with the orange light of a dying fire. Inside, Amelia Carter held her little boy, Daniel, close to her chest, whispering promises she wasn't sure she could keep. She was a single mother, fighting to survive one storm at a time, both the ones inside her heart and the ones outside her door. Her husband had died 2 years ago in a car accident, leaving behind a pile of unpaid bills and a small cabin in the mountains that had once been their dream escape. Now it was all she had left. But that night, as the blizzard screamed outside, she had no idea her life was about to change forever. Before we dive deeper into this unbelievable true story of courage and compassion, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Soul Spark, and comment below what you would have done in Amelia's place. Your support helps us bring more real stories that touch hearts and inspire souls. Amelia had always been strong, but strength didn't mean she wasn't afraid. The storm had knocked out power hours ago, and she was down to the last few logs of firewood. Daniel, barely 4 years old, slept against her shoulder, his small breaths warm against her neck. She sat in the flickering glow, staring at the flames, praying for the storm to pass. The roads were buried, the world felt frozen, and she hadn't seen another human being in days. Then came the sound, low, rumbling, and impossible, the unmistakable growl of motorcycle engine. At first, she thought she was imagining it. Who would be riding in weather like this? But the sound grew louder, closer, until headlights pierced the white curtain of snow. Amelia rushed to the window, heart hammering. What she saw made her breath catch. 20, maybe 25 bikers there. Leather jackets caked with snow, engines coughing steam into the frozen air. When they stopped in front of her cabin, she froze. Every survival instinct told her to lock the door to keep her son safe. These men looked rough, hard faces hidden under helmets, patches gleaming under dim light. Then came the knock. 3 loud, deliberate thuds that made her heart leap into her throat. "Who is it?" she called, her voice trembling. A deep voice answered, rough but not unkind. "Ma'am, we don't mean trouble. We're freezing out here. Our bikes can't go any farther. We just need a place to wait the storm out." Amelia hesitated, clutching her son tighter. Every horror story she'd ever heard whispered in her mind. But then she glanced out the window again and saw the exhaustion in their eyes, the frost on their beards, the way one man shivered uncontrollably while trying to keep another conscious. Her humanity overpowered her fear. She opened the door. "Come in," she said softly, "but please, no trouble." One by one, the bikers stepped inside, stamping snow from their boots, their faces raw from the wind. The warmth of the cabin hit them like a miracle. They thanked her quietly, humbly, and without a trace of arrogance. The leader, a tall man with silver hair and a beard dusted with ice, removed his gloves and nodded. "You've just saved our lives, ma'am," he said. "Name's Hawk." Amelia nodded uncertainly. "Amelia, this is my son, Daniel." Hawk smiled faintly at the boy. "You got a brave mom, kid." The hours that followed felt surreal. Amelia brewed every bit of coffee she had left, opened cans of soup, and shared bread she'd baked days ago. The bikers huddled near the fire, drying their gloves and boots, sharing quiet laughter. They told stories not of violence, but of brotherhood, loss, and the open road. One man had just returned from visiting his sick mother. Another had been homeless before the club took him in. By midnight, Amelia's fear had melted away like the frost on their jackets. When Daniel woke up and toddled toward the group, one of the bikers, massive and tattooed, knelt down and handed him a small toy motorcycle from his pocket. "For the little man," he said with a grin. Daniel's face lit up, and the cabin filled with laughter. Outside, the storm howled on, but inside, there was warmth. There was humanity. As dawn broke, the storm finally quieted. The bikers prepared to leave, their leader walking up to Amelia with a solemn expression. "We'll never forget this," Hawk said. "You opened your door when everyone else would have closed it." He pulled a small patch from his jacket, an emblem of their club, and handed it to her. "If you ever need anything, you call this number. You're family now." Amelia smiled, touched but unsure if she'd ever see them again. she waved as they roared off into the snow, their engines fading into the distance. She thought that was the end of it. But the next morning she was awakened by a thunderous sound that shook the ground. Daniel ran to the window, shouting, "Mommy, look!" So many bikes! Amelia rushed to the door and froze. The entire road was filled with motorcycles. Hundreds, no, thousands of riders stretching as far as her eyes could see. Every one of them wore the same emblem Hawk had given her, the Hells Angels. A man dismounted and walked toward her, a different face, but the same respect in his eyes. "You Amelia Carter?" he asked. She nodded, heart racing. He smiled. "We heard what you did for our brothers. You didn't just give them shelter, you gave them hope. And we take care of our own." Then, from the crowd, Hawk stepped forward again, now clean, rested, and smiling. "Why? Told you, we don't forget kindness," he said. "We wanted to thank you properly." Behind him, the bikers began unloading supplies, boxes of food, stacks of firewood, fuel for the winter, even new clothes and toys for Daniel. Amelia covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. She couldn't believe it. These men, feared by so many, had returned not with danger, but with love. Hawk handed her a small envelope. Inside was a check, more money than she'd seen in years. Enough to fix the roof, pay the bills, and start fresh. "From the club," he said. For the woman who reminded us what real family looks like, the Hells Angels didn't stay long. Within an hour, the roar of engines faded again, leaving only the silence of the snow and the memory of their kindness. But Amelia knew she'd never forget that sound, the thunder of gratitude echoing through the mountains. That winter, her life changed completely. The story spread across the state, then the country. Reporters came, but Amelia always told the same simple truth. They were cold. "I had warmth." That's all it was. Yet deep down she knew it was more than that. It was proof that compassion breaks barriers, that kindness can turn fear into family, and that sometimes angels wear leather jackets. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Soul Spark. Stories like this remind us that love and humanity still exist, even in the unlikeliest places. So spread the spark and keep believing in good. As snowflakes drifted past her window that night, Amelia tucked Daniel into bed and whispered, "See, baby? Sometimes, when you open your door to the cold, you let the warmth back into the world." And outside, under the same sky, somewhere on the open road, 25 bikers rode through the night, carrying her kindness like a torch that would never go out. True strength isn't in muscle or might, it's in the courage to be kind when the world teaches you to be afraid. Amelia Carter didn't just shelter bikers that night. She sheltered humanity itself.